guys for listening. This is the Hot Seat Radio Show, and we are here at the Starbucks off of Fredericks. We are here every Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m., and we are with Sean Portine, Pastor Don, every other Wednesday whenever he can get here to give us his blessing, and of course, Mighty Max. And Mighty Max is our health guru, as well as our young person liaison.
Spicy.
Yes, did I say that right? As a liaison? Liaison. Gotcha. Liaison. Hey, I got a list.
I'm here for the sauce.
The sauce, right. Like I said, as I try to understand these young people, we try to bring everything on this show. So we don't want everybody to think this is just an old fogey show. We have a person that's very bubbly, and she's going to try to make us understand that next generation, because I really don't understand it. But before you go, Sean, what do you got for us?
Well, not really much. I think I've covered pretty much everything, really.
Right. Do you have any predictions for the debate tonight, as in Hillary and Donald?
I think Hillary will probably pop off with a few remarks that'll get Donald Trump to get fired up. But I don't really expect much. I don't really expect anything different. I think that it's Fox News, so they're not basically on Hillary's payroll, or they're not making all the big contributions to the Clinton Foundation. So I think Hillary might have a little more trouble this debate this time, because
they're not going to be softball questions.
Yeah, it's not going to be a love fest for Hillary this time.
Okay, great. Real quick, I don't know if you voted absentee yet, or you're going to...
No, I'm going to the polls.
Yeah, you're going to the polls. For mayor, have you decided yet who you want to lead us for the first time as a citywide elected mayor? Have you decided anything? You don't have to tell us, but maybe your top three or something like that.
Yeah, the top three I'm thinking are Price, Then, and Peden.
Okay.
I think that I really don't see any disaster falling on the city if you vote for any of those three.
Yeah. Any of those three. And then that's exactly what the same numbers that I had with the top three there. Any predictions in regards to some of the top, like I said, with the gun legislation, things?
The gun legislation is looking like Prop 63 is probably going to pass, and it's probably going to get tied up in court for years. Because, the way it's written, it's going to be considered vague and ambiguous, so it's going to have to be thrown out, and they're going to have to do it all over again.
Right.
But next time around, the gun owners are going to be a lot more organized and mobilized, because the efforts to counter the recent bills in this proposition fell short, but it would have cost Gavin Newsom $10 million in the signature gatherers to do what the gun owners did as a grassroots effort.
Yeah, because I honestly think that with all these mass shootings and stuff, it's a scare tactic to take our rights away when we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Yeah, if you look at the statistics, number of mass shootings, as defined by the FBI, as four more people killed, not just a few people wounded and over a drug deal or something. The number of those are small enough to where they're within the size of the variation in homicide statistics over the course of a year. So it's usually only about something like 100 people a year in most cases, but usually homicide statistics vary by 200 or 300 a year, up or down, give or take. So, the mass shootings really aren't an issue. Banning high-capacity magazines, not an issue. You still reload pretty quick with most other methods. And also, most homicides only require use a couple shots.
Okay.
And so, realistically, they're banning guns from people that aren't using them for... the only people that are affected are the ones that aren't committing the crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And... ban on ammunition, the felons don't exactly walk into a gun store and buy their ammo either.
Right.
So it's just absurd. Maybe it's a nice feel-good measure, but feel-good measures don't actually change the hard
get
statistics.
Results. Right. So to do us a favor and stay on top of that so we can kind of understand, because you got a lot of people that are confused in how that works, and people don't understand. I believe that the Constitution, that was put in the Constitution to protect the citizens from its government.
and protect citizens from antisocial citizens.
Right, exactly. So stay on top of that for us right there. So, okay, Sean Fortine, he's going to go and do his thing, but he's going to stay on top of it. He's going to give us the latest statistics when it comes to these amendments and what's going on with some of these propositions so that we understand what's going on. He's also going to stay on top of Moreno Valley politics and give us his honest opinion on how he really feels about it. And maybe, like I said, for some of you guys listening, it might light a bulb in your head and say, hey, that's something to think about.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. So, all right, Sean, so we'll check you out next week whenever you get around. If you got a few minutes, you can hang out.
Okay, I've got a couple minutes to hang out.
Okay, cool. Pastor Don, so we were talking about the debate tonight, and what's your take as a man of God? How do you feel that's going to happen tonight?
Well, as I've said many times, I'm not a political guy, so I'm not pro either one of these candidates. But one thing I want to do, unfortunately, Donovan, I do have to leave here in a couple of seconds here. But one thing I would like to do is I would like to do a short prayer about this debate. This debate's gotten more into the mudslinging and the all the garbage versus actually the things that are important. And I'm just going to hope that the debate is actually productive. I mean, a lot of people's already made up their minds, and that's fine. Whoever candidate they want, but there's still a lot of people out there that are still undecided. And I'm hoping that this debate actually is something that's very productive, that people can hear actual issues versus all the other things that seem to cloud the debate, most of these type of debates. So if you don't mind, I'd like to just do a short prayer on that, and then I'll unfortunately I'll have to leave.
Sure, absolutely. Pastor Don, it's all yours.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, again, we just thank you for this day, Lord, and we thank you, Lord, for the opportunities in a free country that we can have these two candidates debate each other tonight for the last time, Lord. And Lord, we know that this country is in a transition period, Lord. This election could be the most important election in the history of the United States because of what's going on in the world today. So, Lord, we need to have guidance. We need to have wisdom. And we need that from you, Lord. Lord, I pray for tonight that it's not a form of just more mudslinging and insulting and knocking each other down, Lord. I hope that's not the premise of what these two candidates are debating. Lord, I pray that it's more substance, it's more their views. They're very different, and they have different ideas on which way to guide this country. Lord, let those be clear. Let them get directly to the issues, Lord, so it can help each and every voter to understand exactly where they're going and what direction they want to take this country so they can make a good, smart, logical decision coming November 8th. Lord, I thank you for living in a country that allows us to be able to have this type of process, Lord, so that we can make these type of decisions. Lord, I just thank you for all your grace and mercy. I give you all the glory in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you, Donovan.
All right. Hey, we'll see you again. Pastor Don, you can see Pastor Don with us on his weekly devotional on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock on Day Street Starbucks. And again, we're going to do that. And again, thank you, Pastor Don, for all that you do for us. And Sean is bugging out now, so he's out when we're going to see Sean next week. Sean always contacts me when there's something on the buzz, and we're going to write it up and do like that. Okay, Sean, have a great week.
All right, later.
All right, we'll see you.
Oh my God, you're stuck with me.
Yes, now, for those that are listening,
it's about to get spicy.
It's about to get spicy. but before we get into the spice, I want to talk about Minio Stereo. If you need a audio for your vehicle, why are you running around with an 8-track in your car? This is not eBay. If you come on, you got to upgrade that car. So go ahead and come over to Minio Stereo on Alessandro. He's been in business 26 years and he's expanding. You need tint, rims, whatever it is, he's got the hookup. Come on and support local businesses here in Moreno Valley. That's what it's about. And it's right here in District 1. So Minio Stereos, if you need any kind of audio hookup, tell them that Donovan sent you. Tell them that the hot seat sent you. Not saying you can get a discount, but maybe you will. I don't know. But he is very supportive of the neighborhood and everything like that. So just tell him what your needs are, and he will provide it. So Minio Stereo, right on Alessandro and Ellsworth Street. You can't miss it. It's right there. Everybody that is anybody in car shows and whatever, we all go over there to get our cars hooked up. Whatever you need. Minio Stereo. So now, Mighty Max,
Hey.
tell us about your trip to Minnesota. And like I said, it's unfortunate you didn't get to see Prince, but what did you see in Minnesota?
So I guess I'll touch on. I'll do some background.
Okay, let's do some background, as long as it's not graphic.
It won't be
Okay.
anything graphic. Oh heck no.
Okay.
Here's the deal. So I live kind of a busy life, and I love social media.
Yes.
So
You love this show.
And so I've been open to online dating for years. You know,
I'm old-fashioned.
Yeah.
I like the roses and things like that.
I like edible arrangements. I don't even like flowers.
Okay.
And I got edible arrangements over the weekend.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
Right on.
So I had posted a selfie in a private group last year. This guy liked it, added me. Of course, I'm trying to help him get healthy. He's already pretty ripped up, but you can always enhance. He was uninterested in getting healthy.
Okay. Okay.
So we talked. That was December 2015. We've been chit-chatting here and there. We started talking more intensely, and I decided to go to Minnesota to meet him.
Okay. How'd it go? Was it everything you expected? Was he the guy in the picture?
Yeah, right. So here's the deal, guys. If you're open to online dating, FaceTime, Snapchat, Zoom, there's so many ways to make sure somebody's really who they say they are. I don't even understand how catfish is still a show, because no one should be getting catfished because it's 2016.
Well, men are usually stupid.
So, yeah, he was very nice, and he was exactly who he portrayed on the internet. Like, that's what it was in person. So the things I would hear him talk about, his daily activities, that's what he did. It was a very relaxing trip. I'm usually up and about every day, running around, and so I was asleep a lot. So that was great. We went to the Great Mall of America.
Been there. Awesome. Super huge.
4 stories.
Yes.
There's an amusement park.
Yes,
There's a
they got a roller
water
coaster in
park.
there and everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was all sorts of. There's
The best time to go there is in the wintertime when the snow is on the ground, because you're just so thankful to being inside.
And you know, I was thankful too, because over the weekend that I went, it was like 60 degrees, 65. Actually, when I landed, it was 70.
Oh, so that's cold. That's California cold.
Right. Let me tell you though. So when I hear 70, I'm thinking, oh, it's 70 degrees outside. This is great.
Different.
Nah, bruh.
Right.
This was a completely
Different
different
70s.
I'm like, it's not 70. 70 where? Who has 70? Who has 70 degrees out here?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I got a jacket, some edible arrangements, ate some great food.
Okay.
Definitely.
What's besides the Mall of America? What else did you know? Is there anything?
Nothing. I worked out.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm sorry,
Gotcha.
guys. There was we hung out. We went to the bar with his friends.
Any clubs? Anything particular to
No.
some of our listeners that might be visiting?
No, I'm sorry, guys.
They
It
can-
was definitely more of a like, hey, come meet me and
Okay.
my lifestyle type trip.
Okay, so you guys just hanging out.
Yeah, I didn't even get to see we drove through.
Did you go to the Lake Minnetonka?
No.
What
No,
was
I
that?
don't
Lake Minnetonka, where Apollonia jumped in the
No,
water.
I'm
and
so
Purple Rain?
sorry. There was
Oh
no
my God.
Prince references at all. I didn't.
What was
even
the
know,
point of going?
I didn't even know Prince was there, born there, died there. I didn't even know.
That's Prince Land.
I know. As soon as I landed, I actually didn't tell my aunt that I was going. I texted her because I'm sure she saw on Facebook that I was flying. And so I landed. I said, hey, I just want to let you know I'm safe. I'm sound on the ground. I know you've been watching my post. And she was like, great. So when you go see Prince, I was like, Auntie Erica, no one's going to,
You're like,
to
who?
Prince's house, you know?
That's like the Four Tops? What?
Yeah. And it's so funny. Everyone's like, what did you do? Literally, I posted on Facebook, being a tourist on the last day that I was there, because other than that, we went to a very local bar, and
Do you have nice bars there? How's the nightlife there?
I don't know. We spent time with his family. Literally, it was a
You could have
great
done that
trip.
here. You could have done that here.
It was a great trip. Had a good time. And it was meant for me to relax.
Sure.
So I did drive through downtown Minneapolis.
Okay, Minneapolis.
I saw the new. No, I didn't see the new Viking Stadium. I saw their baseball stadium.
Okay, the baseball.
Yeah, I saw some stadium.
The Minnesota Twins, right?
Yes. I'm pretty sure it was the Twin Stadium. It wasn't the Viking Stadium.
Yeah, the Vikings indoor. It's
It was the baseball stadium.
Yeah.
So we saw the baseball stadium, the skyline, but it was during the day.
Was it romantic?
The trip or the drive?
Both. Was there a little romance in this trip? What's going on? Okay, good.
Yes. we could say romantic. I got a couple presents. The presents were nice. I got a jacket and some edible arrangements. I'm absolutely obsessed with edible arrangements. I usually only get them when someone messed up.
Right. Okay.
So to get them to say like, hey, like, you know, that was great. But just a lot of like solidified friendships built.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
A new experience. And a new time zone.
Well, let me ask you, playing devil's advocate, you know, you're a younger person, you know, this is a new thing. To me, I would never do it, but, you know, but because it brings in the question, you couldn't find anybody in the local area? What's the problem here?
It's not that I couldn't, right? This is such an interesting question because no one's really asked.
Yeah, because you have Latinos, you have
there's a plethora
Asian, black, everything here.
Of beautiful men here, all shapes, sizes, races, ages,
Right.
right? Because I'm definitely open to increasing that age gap between
Sure.
me and whoever I'm seeing. But it wasn't that. It was just the people who were approaching. I made a decision to stop approaching men. And the people who were approaching me weren't really what I was enjoying. He's just what I enjoyed. He could have been in Alaska, you know? So you enjoy what you like what you like. I have met men here. I'm not against meeting men here. I'm still open to meeting men.
Well, most of the women that are young girls and ladies that I've run across say, well, these guys are broke out here.
Yeah.
They work at a warehouse. I mean,
you know,
you get all that.
Here's the deal. You work at a warehouse and, you know, you got it popping. You know what you're doing. Whatever. I'm not going to question. I don't need you to pay my bills because I pay my own, right? But I do want to go to dinner. I have a Disneyland pass.
Wait, what do you mean? Look, there's a candy machine right there. I can take you to dinner right now.
Because I like to get sexy.
Okay.
I like to put on my heels and my tight dress.
Where in the IE can you go, or a young man can go and take you to have a nice time?
Oh, I love Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
My
so you're gonna get in the
favorite.
heels and stuff to go to Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, I get in heels. I'll get in heels to go to the movie theater. Okay. Like if we're going on a date, you pretty much have to tell me, hey, like come casual.
Well, I usually just say, do you have a raincoat and just come on out.
Come on out.
Yeah, come on out.
Yeah, no, and most men don't want to take you on dates. That's really the issue that I've been having. So, you know, they want to like hang out and chill up. I'm okay with that, but I don't want to like chill at your house. We could go taking you to work out. You're going to give me a good workout. Great. That could be a date. Taking me on a hike. That could be a date. And it's going to be free. But coming to your house to chill and play video games, like I play video games with my dad at home. Like I don't need to come to your house, you know? So that was really the issue I was running into. Like nobody was willing to invest the time into getting to know people and whatever. Yeah.
Okay, the start of your trip. How'd the start of your trip go?
Oh, the start of the trip was great. I got off the plane.
But I thought the plane was canceled.
Oh, that start. Oh my gosh. My plane got canceled Friday night. It was really funny because no one really knew. Not no one. Not a lot of people knew why I was going to Minnesota. There was random like subliminal posts online.
Yeah, I couldn't follow you. I didn't know what was going on.
Little pineapples popping up everywhere.
Like, what does
the
that
pineapple
mean?
was him. And so also I keep my dating pretty private.
Oh, there you go.
Up until I just became single in May. Right? Like single.
Whatever that means.
Right, because no one wants relationship titles or anything like that. So I was exclusively and monogamously with someone, but that always gives you the freedom to do whatever you like. Okay. And so I was over being with him and I walked away. Like just walked away. And so there was a point that I was getting to before I got into that.
So
Friday night, flight gets canceled. He was trying to pretend like he wasn't excited, but then when my flight got canceled, he was bummed.
Okay.
He was super bummed. So I was like, oh, okay, he's actually excited that I'm coming because at first I was like, oh, okay, well.
And they ended up rebooking you
across the country. Yeah. So they ended up rebooking me for the next day. Didn't get there till 2 p.m. So I missed the good night out. Friday night.
Okay, Friday night.
Friday night they went out, and it was wild. I saw it all over Snapchat. You know, but I missed that because my flight was canceled.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so flight got canceled. Got a $200 credit. Thank you, Southwest. Still not happy, but whatever.
Right.
And then actually flying home, I booked my ticket to Ontario, but my car was
in LA.
So I had to have a friend come get me. Then I ended up on the Metrolink going out back to LA. The traveling experience of
Wait, just to go get your car.
Just to go get my car.
Why did you book to Ontario?
It was an accident.
Oh, you weren't thinking.
I think I was looking at ticket prices and just just like
right.
booked.
Right.
You know,
Right.
So flew back into Ontario. That was crazy, but easy
Okay,
enough.
so that's a little different. So basically, your generation is more open to social media dating. Now, can I ask you, as a father and an older gentleman, the dangers of that? I mean, that doesn't bother you because, you know, who you might meet might be a maniac or anything like that.
Right. If I can openly say that I've been online meeting people since I was like 14,
Right.
I want to say. So for me, I'm very comfortable with it. I feel like, yes, there's crazy people online. There's also crazy people sitting across from us at Starbucks. Or,
Right, yeah, there's a bunch of crazy
there's
people
crazy
right over
people
there.
all over the place, right? So I've been in crazier situations meeting people in person than the people I've met offline.
Okay.
You know, but I'm open to it. I think our generation in general is open to it. I think some millennials are still very closed off to it. They think it's dangerous or they think it's weird. I'm not on like Plenty of Fish. I have been, so I'm not dissing Plenty
I
of
never
Fish.
saw you. But
Or Tinder, you know, I'm
Right.
no longer on those now, but at one point when I was actively searching for a relationship, I was on those sites as well. So now I feel like because social media is so open, if you choose to use it as an avenue to share your life, people feel like they know you.
Okay.
Right? And so some people really feel like they know me. And we may not even have conversations,
Right.
but they're like, oh, I know Max. If you see me out in public, they're like, Max, what's up? You know? And so
Yeah, I get that a lot, but usually they want to beat me up or shoot me,
No,
stab
they're like,
me.
"What's up,
yeah.
Donovan?
No,
How
politically they
you
want to kill
doing,
me.
Mr.
Yeah,
CT?
no, they want to kill me. So, but
So, it can be dangerous. I'm not going to knock it like it's not dangerous. I'm not suggesting to anyone to book a flight to go see a technically, air quotation marks, stranger, right? Because in my head, he's not a stranger. We've been FaceTiming every single morning
okay.
for months.
Okay. Sounds
But,
good. Sounds good.
yeah, just...
So basically, while you're in Minnesota, you missed the Michelle NWA story that came on Lifetime.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
Oh, it was totally hilarious to me when you have to watch it.
Okay, I'm going to watch it.
I DVR'd it because it was so funny.
It was so
she
good.
was getting knocked out by Dre and Suge and all of them.
Yeah.
They stretched her out.
And then something happened with Dr. Dre over this week. Like, he
had to put out a statement that said, "I never touched her."
Oh, okay. So was that all?
It was all in the movie. Yeah, it was all. She's
Oh.
alleging that he beat her up and then Suge beat her
Okay.
up. And it's just a mess. But if you get a chance, go check that out.
I
But
saw the post on Facebook.
okay, good. Okay, good.
How I get all my
yeah,
information.
everybody was going off. But like I said, I'm glad that you've come on the show because, like I said, a lot of people and a lot of young people, that are doing this now. And I'm not saying it's not okay, but me, I'm from a different generation, so I wouldn't do anything like
Right.
that.
My parents weren't like the happiest.
Right.
Actually, I told my mom a month before, like, oh, hey, I'm going to Minnesota. And I didn't really bring it up much.
Mm-hmm.
And then the week of, I was like, hey, I want you to know I leave Friday for Minnesota. And she was just like, what? It's like, we've talked about this. Like, I'm
Right.
going to Minnesota. And she's talked to him on FaceTime, so I definitely put us all in a three-way text message. She had his face.
Right, she IP'd him to see his address, where his computer
and
is.
he was actually more on top of it than me. He was texting her like, okay, she's on her transfer flight, because he wasn't trying to murder me. Actually,
Okay,
I asked him, I said, are you going to murder me?
Yeah,
should
exactly.
I
He come a
prepare
lampshade.
to tell everyone, like, I'm not coming back? He's like, I got kids and a job to get back to.
Okay.
So you just have to be safe with, and I think even dating in real person.
Real time,
Right?
right.
You have to just be safe and choose people who aren't gonna be wild or try to rob you or kill you. Or I've been in like really bad dating situations. I got robbed from my laptop,
Wow.
couple bands, Mom, I hope you're not listening. Someone took my
She will.
car.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you got your car back.
I got my car back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you guys let guys drive your cars?
Oh no! First off, ain't nobody letting nothing
Okay.
happen. Okay?
Okay.
Actually, now, and I've definitely learned that lesson. Like, I have a car.
Right.
You should have a car.
Okay.
Let's meet equally yoked here.
Okay.
I don't want you to have everything, but means of transportation. We live in the Inland Empire. You have to
You
be
got to
able
have
get
some
around.
transportation, right?
Like
the
what if-
Metrolink doesn't go everywhere.
It doesn't go right. The buses take 15 hours to get from Moreno Valley to downtown
Down
Riverside.
Riverside, right?
It's not. How are you getting around? I guess you could have a bike. And maybe you're
Yeah,
really
I
into
mean,
fitness.
but if I had a bike, would you date me? A bicycle. I'm talking
bicycle.
about a bicycle.
Possibly.
Oh my God. Your standards are so low.
I know. I need to step them up. Actually, that's something I'm working on, as like getting better with my self-worth and understanding my value as a woman, and as a person, and as a lover, as a giver, as a nurturer. That's who I am, and so understanding that worth and really coming into that over the last 2 years has even upped my standards.
Okay.
I used to date guys that I didn't even find necessarily attractive. Like, I just thought, like,
Hey.
oh, this guy's a cool guy. We end up talking now. We liking each other. Now we're in this relationship, I guess. But now, like, I'm way more choosy.
More picky.
Yeah, way more. And I feel like I have the right to be, because I know what I want. And I know what I'm worth. And I'm still learning. Like, I'm worth so much more than I even know. Like, I'm only tipped into the iceberg of what I am, and that's because I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to get sexier. I want to continue to get happier. I want to continue to make more money, you know? And so if you're always looking to grow, then your standards will always go up. And either you meet people who match those and grow with you, or you meet people who at first you're like, okay, maybe, and this is actually, I'm really guilty of this. Like, okay, well, I can overlook that. I can overlook that. I can overlook that. And then 6 months, a year later, you're like, oh, wow, all these red flags were here. I knew before I even got this deep, I shouldn't have overlooked that, but I was trying to be nice. That was my fault. Now I know, moving forward, not to be so lenient on things. Like, I'm no longer going to date a guy without a car. Like, we can't do that, because I'm too mobile.
Okay. There
Right.
you go.
I have...
Yeah, you might be cheating. No.
Right. Like, I bought my car 0 miles, 2014. It has 70,000 miles.
There you go.
Right? 2 years, 70,000 miles. So I'm zooming.
So you're creeping.
I'm zooming,
Okay,
back and
gotcha.
forth to LA here, LA here.
Yeah, you're always in LA. Every time I
Yes.
see your thing, you're always in LA.
Yes, every week I go out there. I have a fitness center in the
Okay.
Los Angeles area. So Thursday through Saturday, I'm usually there. Right? This week I was out there earlier this week, so I'll be here this weekend.
Okay.
But yeah, no longer dating guys without cars. I really could care less about education. Like, my family's super educated.
Right. But you are
and
graduating
I am
ASU this
graduating
thing.
ASU with a bachelor's degree. I have my AA already.
Good.
But I know that not everyone needs a bachelor's degree
To be successful.
That's
right.
and to produce a lot of money.
But just get the degree to make your parents happy.
Right. So in December, I'll be walking the stage. And it's a great thing to fall back on. You could be a substitute teacher with a bachelor's degree,
Right.
make $125 a day, and not even really have to work.
Right.
Right. So if you didn't know that, now you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've been talking politically about entrepreneurship versus anybody can get a job.
Yes.
You can get a job anywhere. But with us not having infrastructure for trucks, where I live is predominantly Hispanic. It's changed Hispanically because, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And, a lot of my neighbors have their own businesses. And they're teaching their children to have their own businesses.
It's the only way to make it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, not everybody wants to do lawn service or, you know what I mean? The next generation, they don't want to do that kind of stuff. So if you jump on this truck infrastructure that we need in the Inland Empire, not just Moreno Valley, Inland Empire, and you make a truck stop. Name me one truck stop in the city of Moreno Valley.
I'm pretty sure this isn't actually a truck stop, but they all like to park over there by March Air Force Base.
No, that's not a truck stop.
Oh, that's just...
Yeah, we're talking about a truck stop with fuel. They can fuel.
Oh, no,
and
the closest one I know of is in Ontario.
Right, with the lot lizards and the prostitution and stuff like that goes on over there. Yeah. How do I know that? Because I did a report on it.
Oh,
not that I've been
not you
over
weren't
there.
living
Yeah,
life?
I wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah. I did a report on it, and you can
By
look it
the
up on YouTube.
By the way, guys, Donovan is looking real snazzy today, ladies. I don't know if he's posted any selfies, but he's looking real good.
I have a lot of creditors looking for me, so I don't like my face being shown. No, actually, tonight, Crosswords Church is doing a mayor debate, and that's going to be at about 6 o'clock. So right after I get done with this, I'm going to run over there, and we're going to get into that or something like that. So I got to make an appearance, even though I'm not going to be there. But but the entrepreneurship is a big thing, and so if you're a young person right now and you are looking to start a business. Right now, this city is primed to do something like that because we don't have it.
Right.
And we're going to be bringing an additional 14,000 trucks a day here to Moreno Valley.
So there's a need for it.
Yeah, there's a need for truck stops, truck washes, transmission shops, diesel mechanics, you name it. It's a whole different industry within itself. And if you're a young person and you're thinking about doing something like that, you can do something like that as we do it. There's a whole bunch of things. But as a young person, do you plan on staying in the Inland Empire, or do you plan on branching out, moving to Atlanta?
I definitely won't be in the Inland Empire.
Okay. Why is that?
I like a faster paced life. And I don't plan on, I mean, maybe I'd come back and raise my kids here. I think it's dope. But for me, like...
Kids? Wait, you said the word kids.
Yeah,
okay.
right, I said that.
Okay.
Right, if I were to end up getting married and having someone's baby because I loved him so much that I wanted to give that to him.
Yeah, for everybody that know, Max is as gamely against right now a family situation. She's too busy being a young person going to college and doing what she's doing.
So you know, I think it's a great place to raise a family. But I think if you're a young person looking for opportunities, the Inland Empire is not where you should be.
Absolutely, unless you love working warehouses.
Right.
So
go ahead.
because that's all we have to offer you.
There.
Right.
But you know, I definitely actually it's so funny. I applied for 2 jobs, so keep me in your prayers, everyone.
Okay, so you know, definitely you're gonna do that. You gotta make that money.
I applied to be a Delta airline flight attendant.
You did,
yes.
right? Oh, we're gonna have to talk after the show, so you can tell me something.
So, and you know, that would open up the possibility for me to move to Atlanta. Actually,
right? That's where they're based at, right?
Yeah, they're based.
And
out
their training
Atlanta.
is there.
Their training's there. I could technically stay in Los Angeles. I could move to San Francisco.
If you get based
York.
there, right?
If wherever I get based is
at.
where I end up. You know, I definitely am not looking to choose Los Angeles as my base.
Right, but you want to travel.
But I want to travel and I want to explore and I want to figure out where I'd like to build my life.
See, my old folk, I've been already all over the world, so I'm settled.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my parents weren't into traveling, and that has a lot to do with the status of my father's health. It's hard for him to travel.
Right.
So we weren't doing those types of things, and then now as I've become older and I see
there's a whole world out there.
Media, there's so many things in this world for us to experience. Like right here, even in the United States, there's beautiful places.
Absolutely.
Here. And overseas, there's beautiful places.
Well,
and, like I thought Africa for the longest time, and this is going to sound so ignorant, but this is how the television portrays Africa.
Of course.
I thought Africa was just dirty and disgusting, and there was just like,
they have metropolitans.
Africa's a beautiful place.
South Africa is God's country. I'm sorry.
Like, but they don't show us that.
Of course not.
They don't teach us that in schools.
No, because if you as a black person, and I know people are going to get mad when I say this, but as long as you think you haven't done anything and you haven't come from anywhere, you won't do anything and you won't go anywhere.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is.
And that's really one thing that I'm looking, as you're talking about entrepreneurship, like I'm just looking to build a brand, you know?
Right.
I'm Max. Like that's what I'd like to be.
Sure.
I would love to be a brand representative for whatever, or brand ambassador for whatever company I feel like I have a heart for.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Usually when I bring people on the show, I do a good background check on them and everything, and make sure that they're not like a plant, an Edo plant or a Highland Fairview plant, because a lot of people are trying to get me and set me up.
Right, and I was a complete stranger.
Yeah, I did my research on this young lady and everything like that, and I'm going to tell you, the pictures that I saw of this person, and this was a couple years ago, to what she looks like now, totally different person. Now, I think she looks a little bit better, heavier, but that's because I like a little thick. I look at women.
I'm still thick. Don't have them thinking I'm skinny out
But
here.
You were skinny.
I was real
last
skinny
year. Yeah, it was a little too much. And I'm a totally different person. So when she talks health and wellness, this woman knows what she's talking about, and I'm glad that we have her, because there's a lot of people my age. When you're my age and you're looking and you're saying, you had this lady that was a brick house, when she was in her 20s. Now she had a couple kids and stuff, but that is no excuse to let yourself go.
No, it's so funny because parents need to teach their children healthy habits, and they don't. And my thing is, I don't know, like, if I were to be a wife or a mother, I'd want to be a sexy wife or a sexy mother.
That's what I deserve.
I don't understand why people don't want to feel more confident about themselves. And then also the people who have realized, like, I am unhappy with how I look and how I feel, then they're like, oh, it's just too hard to do anything about it, so I'm just going to not.
Right, but your health is declining and you're making the situation worse.
Right, you're not getting any better, so then it's like, oh, well, let your kids be the reason you want to be healthy, so you can be here to see them graduate.
Grandkids.
Or the grandkids, right? Great-grandchildren. How many people are going to really realistically see their great-grandchildren?
Right. My grandfather is 93, 94 years old right now,
right.
And he is still up in the drama, driving himself to church.
And not many people can say that about their 93-year-old relatives in general, And it's like, first off, how many of, I'll call them youngish adults, right? Let's go 50s.
Okay.
How many 50-year-olds right now have healthy habits that is going to carry them?
I do.
To,
No.
that will carry them to live to be 75,
Yeah.
to live to be 80.
Okay.
Some people are really walking around every day with like God's blessing
Yes.
more than others.
Yes.
You know, like
Yes.
you could peel over and die right now, but I love you and you're my child, so I'm going to keep you alive.
Right.
But you're not even doing anything except for taking the medicine that
Right.
the doctors prescribe you.
And
if
there's
it was
no
really
magic
working,
pill.
If it was really working, then you wouldn't have to take this medicine for 5, 10, 17, for the rest of your life.
Right.
If the medicine was really working. You know, it's going to work the best. Change your eating habits.
Right, your lifestyle.
Right. Change your eating habits. Be active. And yeah, it's going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of effort. Yeah, you might be tired, but when you look up a year from now, you'll feel so much better.
Can I ask you this? Why is it that when people get diagnosed with diabetes, they get these pills or whatever they're doing, diabetes it could be managed.
Totally can be managed.
Changing your lifestyle, your eating habit.
Totally can be managed.
So why is it that they just say, oh, and they make the situation worse?
I've never...
You're taking pills, but you're still doing the same thing you did before.
I've never understood.
Yeah?
And my father's a diabetic.
Okay.
You know, and that's why that's how I got into all this health and fitness in general, you know, because I was just like, I woke up one day and I said, my dad's gonna die. And he's 50.
Young guy.
Yeah, young. And I was like, what can I do to fix it? What can I do to inspire him to be healthier? And so, you know, some people, they don't want to try that hard. Some people realize like, okay, I need to do something, right? Because you have kids who depend on you and your wife and your job, you know.
Well, my whole thing is, why work all your life? You know, then you get there. If you're lucky to even retire, you don't even live long enough to enjoy retirement. It's like I had a chief when I was in the military. Once he retired from the military, he was dead within 2 years. What was the point?
Your body is so unhealthy. You have unhealthy habits, and you literally. Most people, I will be super excited to see all of the adults that I've known since I was a child that I have any memories of from age 3 and up. I would love to see them in 20 years, 30 years. Women I went to church with, right? People who see me all the time like, oh, girl, I know I need to get started, but don't, right? And I'm not even talking like Herbalife right now. I'm talking like living healthy.
Right.
Where are you going to be in 20, 30 years from now?
Nobody thinks about it.
And if you gain 15 pounds every winter season, you're going to be 100 pounds up sooner or later.
Right.
Because if you don't lose them,
right, it just stays on you. Right.
And it's not going to the right places.
Right.
And your husband loves you, so he's going to not tell you to pull it together.
I'll tell you.
Right, I'm hoping that if I get with someone and my dude needs to be like,
no.
Hey, pull that together.
I think that's why I'm single, because I'm very brutally honest. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to say, hey, look, you want me to stay here.
Right. You need to. I don't understand why people like, oh, well, you know, my mom always says, like, looks change. Nah, Mom, I'm going to be bad forever.
There you go. Or at least have that attitude.
You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm going to make sure I look good.
Right.
I'm going to make sure I feel confident.
Right.
You know, and I think people get caught up with, oh, I got to get to work. Oh, I got to do this.
Yeah, the Matrix.
They
They're in the
about
Matrix.
Themselves.
Right. Well, my thing is, as and I see it a lot of my friends my age, you had this chick, a lot of us have been married once, twice, 3 times, a lady, whatever. But basically, you see, she was a bad chick, and then they get so comfortable, and, it's like, he's unhappy because it's like, this is the Ugmo you're with now, and then she wonders why he's stepping out, or vice versa. And
then people try to pretend like, well, looks shouldn't matter. Like,
it does.
You didn't sign up with me. Like, I got with you when you were looking a certain way. Now, I'm not saying that you need to keep your 6-pack all the way until you're 70.
Right.
But if I get with you and you got a 6-pack, I'm not expecting you to gain 80 pounds within the next 2 years.
Right. Or me to be happy with it.
Right. Like, what, bro? Did you forget?
Right.
And I think that's a lot of times where people need to be with people who have the same lifestyles. If you get with someone who's into health and fitness, you're not going to get out of shape because you guys are going to wake up in the mornings and go for jogs together,
and walks or whatever. I mean, and that's another thing. You don't have to jog. You can walk.
Something extra than what you're doing.
Right. But there's always an excuse. Like I said, black women, and I'm just speaking from my experience and what I know. I hear the same thing. Like I said, I'm not a big guy, whatever, but I go to the gym, okay, because I have certain things I got to do. And the biggest excuse I hear from black women is, oh, I don't want to, sweat and get my weave. You're going to risk your health over hair that isn't really your hair.
Right.
It's not even connected to your head.
The only time I don't, and I'm guilty right now, so I got my hair pressed
Okay.
last week.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we know you were going to meet yo man. Yeah.
So for 2 weeks, like, I've only been in the gym twice.
Okay.
It was just leg days.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not trying to sweat my hair
Right,
out.
right.
But now, like, you know, it's a little sweated out, so I'll be in the gym tomorrow.
Right.
But I've never understood, like, oh, I wear a weave, so I'm not going to go to the gym. Like, that's not a good enough excuse.
Can't you
Find
take
a
the
new
weave
hairstyle.
off, put it to the side, go
Find a
work
new
out, and put it
hairstyle.
back in?
Wrap that thing up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not a priority to them.
See,
And a lot of people are like, oh, well, you're just into it because it's a fad. And I'm like, no. I've had self-esteem issues all of my
Really?
life. Like, I just wanted to be more confident.
right.
And
Well,
love myself.
fellas, if you're listening to this, and you, like I said, go. I'm going to ask Max to put her information out there. Go and check this girl out. We call her Mighty Max, and she is built like Wonder Woman.
It's just
I
like-
do not understand why this girl is single. It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. So you got to.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
you got to see what I see. So.
You can follow me on Instagram at just
Maxon.
JUSTMAXXIN.
If we have any questions,
Right. Any questions, slide in the DMs. My Facebook is facebook.com/justmaxon. You can find me under Max Thomas. I'm pretty much the only MAXX, black,
Gotcha,
smiling,
gotcha.
happy girl.
Now, why are you so out and bubbly, and your sister's so nice and shy, girl?
Beautiful.
And this is your younger sister,
Yeah, she's always been like that.
right? Is she single?
Yes.
I have a son that she might want to know.
No, for real, no. If he's in the church,
No, he's the devil like his
she's
dad.
gonna be like a preacher's wife.
Oh, preacher's wife.
Oh,
okay.
she's really into.
Lord and everything.
The Lord,
And there's nothing wrong with that. You want to
No.
know why? The preacher's daughters are the worst ones,
You
man.
know,
Those
so-
are the worst ones.
It's just so funny because we're so opposite,
Opposite.
you know. And she definitely lives by, and not that I'm like completely horrible or anything, but she definitely lives by Christian values, and she's very calm and wholesome. She's not trying to go out, turn up, and you know, like for her birthday.
Really? How old is she?
She's 22. She'll be 22 in November.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's very, and she's got a great job.
Right.
Killer job. You know, she's good with her money.
Oh, she's got to meet my son then because
Dude,
he's terrible.
She's amazing, you know. And I always tell people, like, I'm so jealous of her some days because her life is grand, and I wish I was the younger sister and I could have learned off her bad examples.
Right.
But she's excellent, and I don't know how we're so opposite, but we've always been like that, and it caused so much tension between us growing up.
Right.
Our relationship didn't get good until like last year.
Well, I mean, me and my brother, we're opposites. We're 13 months apart, and I'm like A, and he's B. He's like a quiet type guy. So, ladies, just because a guy's quiet doesn't mean he won't beat you. Okay, I'm not saying my brother beats women up, but you know what I mean. You know, you got to kind of like weigh it. You know,
and
because,
I'm not. And see, I'm going to speak on that just because I'm like loud and wild.
Yeah,
I'm
you just.
very
It is.
submissive.
It is what you know.
Right,
You
like
portray
I'm
yourself.
not crazy like that with Bae. You know,
Okay,
I'm pretty quiet mouthed and I'm googly eyed. Like if I really like someone, I just want to stare at them.
Good. But again, like I said, that's Max, and I'm glad to have her on the show. Like I said, I really thank you for joining us here and give us these health tips, because at my age and my friend's age, we don't know what to do, you know. And a lot of these older women are trying to compete with you younger women, which to me, there's no competition. But okay. But again, we're over here. We're at the Hot Seat Radio Show. We're here over on Frederick Street at the Starbucks. Gosh, if you're not doing anything, come on and have a coffee with us. Let's talk with Just Maxon.
Yes.
Get some health tips.
Nutrient timing this week.
Nutrient timing.
Lean
and
protein every 3
right.
hours.
And one of the keys is eating healthy.
Yes.
So Max is full of drugs. Her car is full of drugs. Like I she showed up and her her powder exploded in her car, and I'm thinking, okay, Coke Queen. You know, I didn't want to say anything, but I had to say something.
It's so funny because actually I'm always on the go. So I'm making shakes in my car and stuff, which is why I really, really love my nutrition program. And so one day I had like literally a line of protein powder just like in my car. And one of my friends hopped in, whoa, I didn't know you were into that. And I was like, oh no, that's Herbalife. Like my
Sure
whole,
it is.
My whole backseat is white right now.
Yeah, sure it is.
Right?
Cocaine queen, but no.
Queen.
Like I said, just, you guys come on out and join us. We have a lot of fun, and we talk about things that are off the wall. And we just like to, you know, just sit and talk. And sometimes that's what people are missing, just sitting and talking, and you know, just talking about the Inland Empire and what we have and what we don't have, and
Speaking of what we have you been to Snowopolis?
Not yet, but it's right down the
It's
way.
new, which
Check it out.
is why I figured Moreno Valley is in a growing state right now, because all these new things are coming. Snowopolis open. And there was something else new. Oh, Steak and Shake.
Yeah, that's in Riverside, but the same side. But okay, but that's the hot seat for this week. And again, please join us. And we got a lot to talk about. Please vote. It's so important. Donovan Sadiq.